So we are going to be playing through more of the story. I did, however, already record this part, but I accidentally ended the recording at 4 minutes, so I'm just re-recording. Alright. Yes. Ooh, is that a toy?
It is. I was designing a new line of them, but I feel like something's missing. You don't think you could help me out, could you?
Of course. Excuse me. He placed the toy in my hand with a smile, and I inspected it carefully. It was beautifully crafted, and obviously a lot of work was put into it. There was one thing, though.
So, what do you think?
I think the heart on the chest should light up when you hug it. It'll be like it's alive. And it can be like a little nightlight before you sleep. He stroked his chin, considering my input, while nodding his head. After a few moments of silence deliberation, he turned to me with a chuckle.
That's a great idea. I'll get to changing it right away. You're always like my little lucky charm, dear. You always know what to add to make the perfect toy.
Well, I hope you like... I can be like you one day, Grandpa.
You want to make toys as well?
Well, making people happy is the best feeling in the world. I don't know if I want to make toys when I grow up, though.
Don't worry too much about it. You have plenty of time to decide. Besides, you should do what makes you happy as well.
It makes sense. Daddy doesn't think the same way, though.
Your father. I'm sure he just wants the best for you.
I'm not sure about that.
Sweetie, look at me.
He bent down to look at me at eye level with a serious look on his face.
As much as your father may say something that doesn't make sense now, you must remember that he's always thinking about you. He loves you. There's no doubt about that. And you need to love him just as equally.
I don't hate Daddy. I really do love him. I don't know why he's like this, though.
Your father and I have had some difficulties with each other in the past. But it's nothing that you should be concerned about.
I had heard tidbits from my mother and various other people. The only people who had stayed quiet were my father and my grandfather. Both of them refrained from saying a word on the subject matter. But it was clear that whatever happened set up a wall between them. It's hard, though, trying to pretend as if nothing were wrong.
However, no matter what, you have to stay strong. You're a big girl already, and, well, there'll come a day when it seems like it's you against the world. But always remember that your family and friends will be here with you. Daddy, Mommy, your friends at school, me. We'll stand together to get through it.
How can you be so sure of that?
Because we'll be right here and here.
He pointed his finger to my head first and then pointed at my
So
chest.
stay strong. Promise?
For a moment, he actually looked almost sad, pleading. But as quickly as it had come, the expression disappeared from his face, and he was all smiles once again. Promise. Upon hearing that, Grandpa let out a great burst of laughter and stood up.
All right then. Enough of that. How about I whip up some special homemade dessert? I know I can't accompany you at that new cafe, but we sure can talk and eat while I cook and do some paperwork.
Homemade dessert? I'll race you to the kitchen.
Hey, slow down there. I'm not what I used to be.
You willingly willed me the very home I loved to see you in. Why would you think I would be ready to take it, especially after this? A surge of anger bubbled within me, but I quickly swallowed it. There was no use getting mad, especially when the person in question was no longer there. I'm sorry. It's hard to stay calm when you've left me so many questions, especially about what happened between you and Dad. What am I supposed to do? What am I doing? Talking to a grave? My vision blurred and I suddenly realized that I was crying. My face heated up as tears rolled down my cheeks. I'll bring some flowers later on. I'll miss you. I miss you, Grandpa. I'll try my best to fulfill my promise I gave you, even if the world might turn against me. I left the grave, wiping the tears hastily so my parents wouldn't see.
Well, it's time to head back home. I'll cook up your favorite lasagna when we get home, okay?
Thanks, Mom. However, my dad didn't speak the entire drive home. I wanted to talk to him, but after his moment at the funeral, I wasn't sure if that was a good idea.
It's about time we took off those dreary black clothes.
Gathering my courage, I decided then that it was the time to talk. Dad, could I ask you something?
Go ahead.
Why do you want me to move into the state so soon?
I thought I made that rather clear. The college near your grandfather's house is well known for its business program. You are planning to major in business, yes?
Silence.
Right after you graduate from high school, you'll just live there and can easily commute to and from school. It's a perfect fit for you.
But it's so sudden. You have just decided so quickly right after the funeral?
Don't be so sensitive. If you're like that in the real world, you'll be crushed.
He's so rude. I'm just saying that maybe we could talk a bit more about my future. In reply, my father rubbed his temples and sighed quietly.
After you graduate from college, you'll work at Anderson Family Toys. I have connections since I am part of the board of directors, so you will be guaranteed a spot. That is what we talked about before, yes?
But what if...
Stop mumbling!
But what if I don't want to work there?
Don't be silly. It's the family company. Our company. I'm not just going to hand it over to some incompetent vice chairman.
Silence. He came close to me and his face softened.
Look, this is all for the best, okay? You may not know it right now, but you will appreciate it later.
For some reason, when I heard him say that, something snapped in me. I wasn't exactly sure what it was, but it made me feel so angry. Do you even care that Grandpa passed away?
Of course I do.
Oh, everything seems so fine and dandy to you. Things couldn't be better.
Excuse me? I don't like your tone, young lady.
It's like nothing happened at all. Like, you just ignored the fact that he's no longer here.
Do not raise your voice at me.
What did he ever do to you to deserve this? My father, his face hurting, crossing his arms, and erupted in angry laughter.
Ha! You sure place him upon a pedestal, like he's some kind of venerated god or something. It makes me...
Is that it? Are you happy seeing Grandfather dead? Oh, fuck. Sorry, guys. Flash of rage crossed his face, and he whipped the back of his hand across my cheek.
You don't know anything! Running your mouth like somehow you know everything that went on, when you're just a little girl that doesn't know how to keep her mouth shut! You did not know my father! You did not know what he was capable of.
Silence.
Is everything all right? What happened?
Nothing. I'm not hungry. I think I'll just go upstairs.
Honey, wait!
And I'll read this last patches and then I gotta go. I quickly turned and ran up the stairs to my room, slamming the door behind me. My breath came in short pants, and for a while I leaned against the door of my bedroom, eventually sliding down and sitting against it. So we'll see what happens in the next part. Thank you guys for watching, and goodbye.